Wait for it. I want an answer to this, and I'll show you the most amazing part here within about 1 minute, okay?
Sunspot is located about 15 miles south of Cloudcroft, New Mexico. Christina Aguayo joins us now with more on the investigation from the New Mexico Mobile Newsroom. After coming up to the Sunspot Observatory for ourselves to find out why it and the post office remains closed, we found that many officials remain tight-lipped about the reasons. We also ran into quite a few locals and people traveling from out.
Anyway, you can check it out doing any web search. It's a solar observatory in New Mexico. Dozens and dozens of people watched a swarm of FBI agents and 2 Black Hawk helicopters swarm into a solar observatory that was established in 1947. They shut the entire place down, including the post office near the solar observatory. Now get this. This is the interesting part. Okay, I'm not going to make any claims, and this is the neat part. Okay, check out this list. Now these are solar observatories and cams in Australia, Chile, Spain, 2 in Hawaii, and 1 in Pennsylvania. All of these went down at the exact same time as the solar observatory in New Mexico. And are they still down? Well, let's take a look. I updated these just about 10 minutes ago. Oh, here's the one in Hawaii. Oh, that cam's been shut down, solar observatory. Okay, this one's been shut down. This one, a cam, is offline, maybe due to network or hardware failure. So that one's down in Hawaii. This solar cam is down. This one is also down. Can't find it. And here's the 6th one down. Unauthorized. Can't find the webcam. So all 6 of these went down at the exact same time and are still down in Australia, Chile, Spain, 2 in Hawaii, and Pennsylvania. These are all solar space cams that went down. And this is SOHO. This is on NASA's own website. It's on NASAcom at nasa.gov/data/realtimeimages.html. This is SOHO. This is the Solar and Heliospheric Observatory. Basically a telescope for looking at the sun. And interestingly enough, they will tell you that, let's see, we're updating the code infrastructure provided to the SOHO, and we expect the work to take several weeks. In other words, the live feed stream from the SOHO solar telescope has been shut down.
In tonight's Fact or Fiction, we're looking into a story that had UFO enthusiasts buzzing this month. On September the 6th, the FBI abruptly shut down the Sunspot Solar Observatory in New Mexico. And it stayed closed for the next week and a half, with the FBI refusing to comment on the matter. Well, that sparked all kinds of conspiracy theories about aliens, but it had nothing to do with that. According to a federal search warrant, the observatory was closed because a janitor allegedly used a work laptop to send and receive child pornography. The observatory says the facility was evacuated to keep the investigation under wraps in order to avoid tipping off that suspect.
We are now learning what led to the mysterious closure of the Sunspot Observatory in southeastern New Mexico. New federal court documents show it was all due to a child pornography investigation and his reaction to it. News 13's Rebecca Atkins has details of the federal search warrant and how investigators first learned of the activity.
For nearly 2 weeks, theories loomed over the strange closure of this solar observatory in Sunspot, New Mexico.
Of course, everyone's going to be skeptics and say it's aliens.
With the feds tight-lipped, people forced to evacuate were left clueless.
I just really have no idea.
But with theories of extraterrestrials and government leaks, authorities confirmed it was neither, but rather a criminal investigation.
I'm pretty sure there's a reason that they're keeping it super tight.
Now, this federal search warrant for the property of an observatory janitor hired about a year ago are shedding new light on what was really going on. The warrant states in July, federal agents began searching a child protection database and found child porn linked to an IP address at the Sunspot Observatory. In August, they began speaking to the chief observer at Sunspot, who said he found a laptop running in several empty offices over the last few months. He told the feds what he found on the desktop was, quote, not good, and that it appeared to be child porn. The search warrant states the feds then monitored all the IP addresses and found the exact time child porn was being sent out. It matched only one employee, a janitor. Once that janitor realized his computer was no longer there, the director says he, quote, feverishly started looking through the facility and started making comments about lax security. Said it was only a matter of time before the facility got hit, and he believed there was a serial killer in the area and that killer might enter the facility and execute someone. The director says that's when they became concerned for safety, and along with the agencies that operate the facility, decided to evacuate it and shut it down. Items seized from the suspect's home include cell phones, laptops, SD cards, and thumb drives. We are not naming the janitor because he has yet to be charged. Rebecca Atkins, KRQE, News 13.
Now, what's still unclear is why the area post office was also evacuated. We still didn't get any answers about that from that warrant. The documents do also say that the observatory terminated its contract with the cleaning company that happened to be owned by that janitor's parents.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Off. It'll start getting heavy. Booster boost back shutdown.
Center core boost back on shutdown.
Did you know there is a car in space right now? And the question you're probably thinking is, why? Well, the short answer to the question is because Elon Musk wanted it there. Was wearing the same white spacesuit NASA astronauts will wear for missions to the International Space Station in the next year or so. Secured by a seatbelt, the Starman's right hand is holding the steering wheel, while its left arm is resting on the door, while the dashboard screen reads, "Don't panic," which is a reference from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Some extra accessories were added to this car for its special journey, including a small Hot Wheels Roadster on the dashboard, a plaque bearing SpaceX employees' names, and a circuit board with the words "Made on Earth by Humans" imprinted on it. So why put a car in space? Well, in the tradition of Richard Branson with his cheesy publicity stunts, it was a clever show of cross-promotional marketing. Being that both SpaceX and Tesla are owned by the car was launched into space around Earth, a camera on the car was live streaming orbiting Earth on YouTube until the batteries on the camera ran out. There is now a website called whereisroadster.com tracking its current location, and the website shows the car coming very close to Mars in October 2020. The intention of Elon Musk was to send the car on a constant orbit around the Sun and Mars. Scientists ran hundreds of different simulations of orbital possibilities, and they calculate there's a 6% chance of the roadster crashing into Earth and a 2.5% chance of it crashing into Venus over the next 3.5 million years.
When a man reaches the edge, after he goes as far as any man can possibly go, how does his son continue?
Hey folks, Korax here.
Our Earth is beautiful. It is both majestic and mysterious. It is our only home. We have seen it from up and above. We have taken flights, climbed mountains, and sent rockets.
That's the Blue Marble by NASA. Well,
in 2002, Blue Marble 2.0. NASA's Rob Simon made this. Simon's job is...
It's primarily taking data and making pictures out of it.
That's what this is, a composite of data sets from several different instruments translated into a picture.
So we actually had to take clouds out.
They stashed the clouds for later, went onto the ocean.
Where it was low, I colored it dark blue because they're low mostly in mid-oceans. And then where it was a little bit higher, it was like a little bit brighter green.
Then add the clouds back in.
There's a small problem with it because there's a very slight gap in between each orbit.
So some of those are painted on.
It is photoshopped, but it's has to be. It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
So how does it actually look from as high as we could go?
Welcome Professor Augusto Piccard, a Swiss physicist, inventor, and explorer.
The first man to really see the Earth from stratosphere.
On May 27, 1931, Dr. Piccard and Paul Kipfer took off from Augsburg, Germany in a hot air balloon with his invented gondola and reached a record altitude of 15.8 kilometers, 51,775 feet. During this flight, Piccard was able to gather substantial data on the upper atmosphere, as well as measure cosmic rays.
And what did he see?
This was no small feat. Before the advent of modern-day NASA, before the internet, before the, space flights, before the moon landings, a man took the true giant step, a serious leap for mankind.
And yet there is no mention of him in our history books.
I wonder why.
Some of them are our true unsung heroes indeed.
Professor Augusto Piccard, the man who saw and stated the real thing. Don't follow the hype. Follow your heart. You know the truth.